Greetings everyone, I trust you had a fantastic week. Today we're delving into dynamic camera movement and implementing a stealth kill for our character. As you can see, I've switched the Y-bot model with my character model, though keep in mind this design is still a work in progress. Character setup. In this tutorial, I made minimal adjustments to our character. I introduced a timer node, assassin_time, with a set wait time of 1.2 seconds. Now for the enemy NPC, we're enhancing its capabilities. I added a bone attachment 3D node to the general skeleton. Following that, a new node 3D named Sight is created, along with 3 raycast 3D nodes underneath, symbolizing the enemy's line of sight. While the specifics of these elements will be explored in a future tutorial about the state machine for the enemy, I also introduced a new area node named Sense_area. This incorporates a collision shape 3D set as a sphere with a customizable radius of 4 meters. By connecting the body-entered signal to the enemy's script, we create a function, currently set to pass, which will be vital for upcoming explanations. Lastly, a marker 3D named kill_location is crafted. Rotated on the Y-axis to 180 degrees, this marker signifies the point where our character will stand to execute a stealth kill, strategically positioned just behind the enemy character. Camera dynamics. Switching gears to camera dynamics, we want the camera's position and rotation to adapt to our character's various states. Let's enhance our existing code. If you're just joining us, make sure to catch up on the previous videos for context. The link is provided in the description or the top right corner of your screen. In our character script, we initially check the crouch state within the process function by examining whether the right and left raycasts close to the character's legs were not colliding. To improve this, I've created a new function named crouch_state and moved that condition into it. Now, this function is invoked under the physics_process function. To transmit the character's state information to other scripts, we establish a signal named character_state at the top of the script. We also define a state variable. In the section where we handle character animations based on their state, we assign the character's state to the state variable. To avoid continuous transmission of the same state, we introduce another variable, previous_state, set initially to base. We then check if the current state is not equal to the previous state before emitting the signal. In the editor, click on the player node, navigate to signals, and you'll find the character_state signal. Double-clicking it will lead you to the camera script with a pre-made function. In the camera script, I introduced 2 new variables, character_state and previous_state. Within the signal function, I assign the previous state to the character state and the character state to the state received from the character's script. Moving on, we export a vector 3 variable for the camera position in specific states, and likewise for the default position. In the editor, under the camera's inspector, you'll now see these variables. To set the camera positions for various states, copy the initial position to the default position, move the camera to the desired state position, copy that, and paste it into the corresponding state position variable. When done, copy the default position back to the position for the initial setup. Now let's create a function called cam in the script. This function takes 4 arguments: the position for the camera, the lerp speed, delta, and optionally, rotation. Under the process function, we add a condition to check if the character is in known states. If true, the camera position responds accordingly. And that concludes our implementation of camera dynamics. Feel free to pause the video if you need a moment to catch up. Next, we'll delve into the mechanics of the stealth kill. Stealth kill. Before diving into the code and mechanics, there are 2 key aspects I'd like to address. Firstly, I want the player to be able to kill the enemy only when in stealth mode. Otherwise, the enemy should become aware of the player's presence. As mentioned earlier, the focus is currently on the main character, so the enemy script will remain basic. Let's begin by establishing the stealth state for our character. We create a new variable named stealth and initialize it to false. Additionally, we introduce another variable, assassinate set to false. Create a variable for the assassin time node as well. Next, we define a new function called stealth_state. Within this function, we set a condition to check if the player has pressed the drop key and is either in the base state or stealth state. This is because we want this condition to work only in these 2 states. We further check if the character is already in the stealth state. If not, we set stealth to true. Otherwise, we set it to false. We then call this function under the physics_process function. With the stealth state established, we proceed to handle the animation. Given that the crouch animation is the same one used for stealth, we can simply add or stealth to the existing crouch condition. Moving on to the enemy script, within the signal function we created earlier, we set conditions. First, we check if the body that entered the area is in the player group. Details on group assignment discussed in previous videos. Then, we verify if the body is not in stealth mode. If these conditions are met, we get the player's position, orient the enemy towards the player using look_at function, and set the enemy's rotation. If the player is in stealth mode, we simply pass, ensuring that the enemy doesn't respond. Create variables for the enemy's animation player and marker 3D. Returning to the character script, we create a new function to enable the character to kill the enemy upon pressing a key, in this case, F. We add a new input key, name it action, and create the function stealth_kill. Within this function, we set a condition to check if the wall check raycast is colliding. If so, we get the collider and assign it to the variable body. We then check if the body is in the enemy group and if the character is in stealth state. If both conditions are met, we get the position and rotation of the enemy's marker 3D. We set the character's position and rotation to that of the enemy's marker 3D. Set assassinate to true disable movement, move to false. Play the assassination animation, play the death animation of the guard, and initiate the assassin time. This function is called under the physics_process. Back in the editor, connect the timeout signal to the character script. Under this function, set assassinate to false, to prevent other states from occurring while assassinating by adding not assassinate to those conditions. This step helps prevent bugs. And there you have it, camera dynamics and the stealth kill state. If you encounter any bugs or errors, feel free to leave a comment for assistance. If you have better alternatives, suggestions are welcome. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the content for future updates. I might delve into the combat system in the upcoming week, or focus on polishing these mechanics before proceeding. Stay tuned for tutorials or devlogs. See you next week.